You might have heard somebody say in the past, the hardest part of a project is taking that first step and getting started. And that's not my problem. My problem is very different. So today, we're gonna go through a lot of the projects that I've taken that first step on and maybe got a little stalled. So let's go look around and we'll do a little walk and talk. Quick update on the Langmuir MR1. I had the control board go out. This is the old control board. Thankfully not a big expense. It was like a $60 board. But I had no connectivity to the PC. So a little troubleshooting. I've got that ready to button back up. This is the old board, the new one's in. It is working. One thing I've never liked about this is the power switch. They recommend you turn the power off when not in use, so you've got a 110 and a 220 switch at the back of the machine, so you have to reach around. So I got a 3-phase switch, so you got 3 poles, and it's got, I think, a 30 amp rating on this guy. So I'm gonna panel mount this, so you'll have the 110 circuit and then the 2 legs of the 220 circuit all controlled by a single switch. So I'll be able to turn the machine on and off from the front. This is a Kraus and Namer, which German excellence. Got this guy used off eBay. So that's gonna get plopped in right there and wired up. And I'm gonna get this guy buttoned back together and get some parts ran on. I got some stuff coming up where I need to mill some parts. All right, so quick update on the well saw bandsaw. It is functioning, and the first cuts were less than promising. So this originally came with a 1-horse motor. This is a 1/2 horse motor. Not sure who put this on here. That's coming off. Was able to get a used Leeson 1 1/2 horse motor. So 3-phase, 1725 RPM, same size shaft. Should just be a direct bolt on for here. I've got the new VFD ready to go. And then 2 new blades, some pretty aggressive Lennox blades. So this guy is ready to be upfitted, and then we're gonna find a home for it over in the shop. One little detail I wanna mention, I added this like silver pinstriping, and I actually bought a MAC double aught brush, an artist brush, or a pinstriping brush, and then some low temp reducer and silver and black. So I want to try my hand at a little bit of pinstriping just for fun. I think this will look kind of cool. We do some line work around here, up and over, kind of a low risk thing to try my hand out at, get a little fancy. Thought I'd throw this little gem in here. I have a bit of a thing for bench vices. So this guy, I had this blasted and ready. It's an Erie Toolworks from Pennsylvania. Not sure how old. They're not expensive. But I had it cleaned up, deburred all of the, the polished or the bare metal bits, and I was powder coating some other stuff, and so I just powder coated this. It's a nice bronze, looks pretty sharp. So that's gonna live here in the pallet racking workbench. The more important project is going to be getting the 5 horsepower Ingersoll Rand compressor hooked up. I tripped at the finish line on this one. Motor's ready to go. Compressor, I'm gonna change the oil in, but otherwise it should be ready. The tank's been fixed, hydro tested. All the brackets are done. It's just hooking up the piping and the motor starter and the new pressure switch, which are all right over here. Got the regulator gauge. It's the Allen Bradley pressure switch, and then the 5 horsepower square D motor starter. So that's all ready to be hooked up. Flex hose to run over to the wall, and then we'll end up hard piping over drops a few different places in the shop. And most importantly, I need to get I need to get air to the blast cabinet. So lots of rust removal to do in the future. That needs to be number 1 on the list. I need compressed air. I'm running off a little pancake size compressor and it's just not good. So I'm gonna spin this around 180, put the belt towards the wall. Otherwise, this is a pretty decent spot to go. And I'd like to shift it around just a little bit to gain a little bit more room, is I got the flammables cabinet here. I'd like to be able to open the door just a little bit more. And while we're here, nice little segue into the flammables cabinet. That only came with one shelf, so I want to add at least 2 more shelves, maybe 3, probably 2 more shelves, and that'll be much more usable. Just got to measure those up and get them bent up. Not a big deal. Definitely will feel better having a safe place to put all of the chemicals. So this is let's call it the abrasive area, grinding and sanding, deburring, wire wheeling, and it definitely needs some love. So right now I've got a air extractor, a vacuum, and then also over here I have another dust collection option. I think that's a 2 horsepower dust collector. So I'm trying to decide what the best option is. See if I can get this all in one frame. So do I put the dust collector up on top of the pallet racking and run some ducting, and then maybe a couple different gates so I can, have fume extraction in this area? Do I do like more of a downdraft setup and use a smaller extractor, or even contemplated making a hood in this area to like enclose a volume, or stepping back again, if I put a vinyl curtain where I can open the door, push air out, maybe have some fans, and then truly make this, because it kind of I think I've mentioned it before, this area becomes my fume extraction, open the door, paint, powder coat, everything just kind of happens in this area, trying to keep it away from all of the other stuff. Try not to make you guys dizzy with all my randomness here, but the point is I have quite a few options and I need to do something for dust collection. I'm really leaning towards putting the dust collector up here and maybe mounting a switch down low where you can reach it. Yeah, more thinking to do on that one, but I have the complete setup. This was functioning as best I could tell. I've got the bag, the hose. Yeah, it's all there. A few weeks ago, I talked about the baby crane that I want to build for the shop, and I stumbled on a manual worm gear style cable winch at an auction. This is what I was going to use. This is a cheap boat winch, so a little sense of the difference in scale here. I think I paid $7 for this, and it is free, although a little stiff. I'll see if I can swing around here to get the worm, and I'm not sure what I want to use it for exactly, but I'm thinking just the boom lift, because it would be right on top of the counterweight and looking all cool. And then run the cable up and down. I'll throw the CAD image in here. So I'm still noodling the idea on this baby crane, and I'm really liking the idea of building this guy. I had a few great suggestions from some friends of mine that, especially in the narrow width, the side-to-side width, that maybe some outriggers could be helpful. And so I threw a set in the model, and I had a few thoughts on this, and I haven't really fleshed this idea out in great depth yet, but I think it would be neat to have a set of rollers that you could engage, maybe static feet too. I'm not sure. Maybe there's a way to have it like flip-flop, but the thinking was that in the wider stance configuration, think about like the pulling a car out situation, right? You'd want to reach sideways, but also traverse front to back, and maybe that's where some extra stability in that direction would be really helpful. Not that I intend for this to pull motors, but just trying to think through what makes sense, because it would be pretty simple to add the provision, and then could always come back later and build the outriggers, and they could be, like I said, like pedestals that you level with, or I'm not ruling anything out just yet. I'm still really liking the idea of building this guy, and this was what I'm if I edit this right, I'll have already mentioned the chain, or the cable winch that'll sit right on this face and kind of add to the look and feel, and that cable will come up, over, and down, and that'll be what picks the mast up and down. So maybe a little overkill, maybe I'll save that for a different project, but it called to me and the price was right. So this one's kind of fun. I have too many interests and want to do too many things, but this guy popped up for a smoking good deal. It is a absolutely beefy, I don't know shit about sewing machines, honestly, but this one, I think they were using it to bind books. So probably get the right size needle in here, and this would do what I would like to do, is dabble in a little bit of automotive upholstery, maybe like leather and vinyl, that sort of thing. I do need to fix, this is the base assembly and it got boogered up a bit here, but I think this can all be straightened around. Foot pedal control, it was complete. I disassembled it to get it down a flight of stairs. I think it's gonna live in my office for the time being, so a little bit of work to do there. Anybody else have flat surface syndrome? All the gravity just tends to hold everything down. It's great. As far as projects go, as far as personal projects go, I think this one is going to come in number one on the list, simply because, one, I want to drive it again, and two, it's the closest to being running and driving again. So yeah, hopefully in the coming weeks we can get this bolted back together. I think I have 90% of the parts to put it together. I'm missing, I can't honestly think of anything I'm missing. Maybe a battery. So yeah, look forward to seeing the Trans Am come back in future videos. As neglected as it is still my favorite. So this spot is open right now, and this is where the Chrysler from last week is going to live for the short term, and I'm waiting for somebody to eagerly volunteer to help me carry in all of the body panels out there, put them up there. That's going to be fun. But yeah, I'm thinking that the Chrysler's going to sit here. We're going to move the Trans Am back into the lift bay, and I'm going to put the Buick in the number 2 spot. I haven't forgotten about it. I just got a little distracted, but we will get back on that as well. We're going to just get back on everything and split our time and make no progress on anything. It's going to be great. So all jokes aside, so this area around the lift became a little too congested. I had to have this giant arbor press, and I'm not mad about it, but it does take up quite a bit of room. And I had to pull the shears out recently to be able to get some longer stock in here. These probably need to go on wheels, and then I've got the Buick pulled a little too far forward. But again, flat surface syndrome takes over everything. I'm really wondering if I just give up on being able to put a car in the clean room and I move some more of the tools in there and just, you know, resign myself to the fact that it's the workshop area and the cars stay in this side. Maybe not forever, but for the short term, that might be the best option. So anyway. So if you made it this far, thanks for watching. I'm Chad. This is Carter Engineering and Fabrication, and if you stick around long enough, you might actually see me finish some projects. So thanks for watching. Drop a comment if you saw something you want to share or an idea you have in regards to like some of the anything really. I was going to say the air extraction and some of the dust collection stuff, but any comments are welcome. Just be kind. I'll cry. And I will see you guys next week. Thanks. I'm out.